And welcome back to another episode of Intern TV here at Newman Media. I'm Matt Dopp. We're joined by the three amigos, me included, Jeff Wilson, Andrew Golden. I hope we're friends because I called you amigos.
Oh, we're friends.
Let it slide.
Let it go.
Just a joke.
Hey, I'll go.
We're getting close to April Fool's Day.
Yeah, we are almost there.
April Fool's made you think.
Yeah, right. So anyway, Andrew, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I went on a hike this weekend.
Nuh-uh. I went mountain biking this weekend.
No.
No, you're right.
Where'd you go?
I just joking.
Oh.
Sat at home and watched football this weekend.
Oh.
You went on a hike?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. How far did you go?
It was like up the hill.
Okay.
That's about it.
That's all. Like I said, I sat on the ground. I sat on my couch.
If I'm being honest, I didn't make it.
Didn't make
I
it.
kind of gave up, but it was the thought that counts.
Okay.
I went hiking.
Gravity gets you every time.
Right.
Dude, I feel like it was just like June now. It's like it's dark out all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean,
this time of year, really. The
Intern
sun's not up
TV
yet.
After Dark.
we went dark on them.
Midnight edition.
Yep.
All right, hey, well, let's bring our guest in. We're bringing in a senior. Her name's Kassie Lange today. She's an athletic training major, so she's had a lot of experiences. We're really excited to talk to her, so let's bring her in. Kassie, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. Thanks for coming.
No problem.
Awesome. So like I said, you're an athletic training major. You're a senior here at Newman, and I know right now you're interning with Malvern Prep School. So how's that going for you?
It's going pretty good. We recently started having sports games, so we've had some football games, soccer, cross country. We did a little bit of spring sports in the beginning, just getting everything going back before we knew if we were having any games. So we have a couple more football games, I think, coming up.
So from the conversation we had earlier, I noticed that you have a ton of different experience in the athletic field. What kind of made you go get all that experience, and how did you get all that experience?
Do you mean from like previous, like why I wanted to go into it?
Like your previous internships or, I don't know,
Clinicals.
Clinicals. How did you get into those, and who found them for you, and why'd you do it?
So when we come in as freshmen, we all have to do the normal emergency response classes and the anatomy classes. And once we get accepted into the major our sophomore year, our teacher finds us clinical placements, and each semester we do get a new placement. So we have about 6 placements each year.
So we had Claudia on the show earlier this season, and we did an episode with her. And I asked her this same question. Being that you guys start your experience with your clinicals your sophomore year, how helpful is that to kind of get that hands-on experience? Because obviously with athletic training, it's not really something that you can learn too much of through a textbook. You know, you really have to be out in the field and see things firsthand to get stuff done. So how helpful is that for you?
I think it was really helpful. My sophomore fall, I was actually at Westtown School, and I had a senior from Newman and a junior and a senior from Westchester there with me. So it was really good to get that experience from 3 upperclassmen who knew what they were doing. And starting out, all I knew was first aid and anatomy. So learning those lower body assessments and having upperclassmen as well as my 2 preceptors helped me out. It was really helpful and eye-opening to see what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, awesome. So Kassie, you mentioned it that you've been doing a lot of football games and that you've been doing some spring sports, but so let's just pretend it's a Friday night or a typical game. So what is kind of your role? Like when do you get there? What are some things you got to set up, and how long are you there? Just take us through a normal night for a football game.
Okay, so normally I get in every day around 2 o'clock. I go get the gator, I fill it up with our splint bag, AED, my athletic trainer's kit. I have my own little pack of small things that I need, like Band-Aids. I put that in there, some tape. I put, just the necessities, injury ice that we need, and then I leave it, and then the athletes start coming in around 2:30. We check them in, make sure that they're ready to go for the day. Any assessments that they need to do, evaluations for new injuries or rehabilitation for some injuries that are already occurring. Get them taped up, send them out to practice. Then probably like 4 o'clock, I'll go out, depending on what practices we have that day. Sometimes I'm there from 4 to 6 outside, or sometimes maybe even till 7:30. Game days are pretty much the same for football. On a normal Saturday, we'll get everything set up. Then we'll go out for warm-ups. They do about an hour of warm-ups, and then we get the game going.
So being in the athletic field and I'm sure you've seen a lot. Is there a crazy injury story you have, or what's the craziest thing you've seen?
So I think this semester I've really seen a lot more serious injuries. My second week there, I had a lacrosse player dislocate his shoulder. Then I think a few weeks ago, I had a football player on a Saturday morning practice. He was a freshman. He fell and someone fell on top of him and he fractured his clavicle. So brought him over and I looked at it and you could visibly see where on his clavicle it was broken, and I just had to treat for shock as he was starting to
Nice.
go a little pale and feel a
Nice.
little sick. So we got him on the ground, cut off his shirt, got his pads off, and palpated, and you could clearly feel that there was a break in his clavicle. So we sent him to the emergency room.
Wait, you're gonna laugh at me.
All right.
Could never be
Where's
me.
the clavicle?
I was going to ask the same question.
It's in the leg, right?
No.
No, your clavicle's in your shoulder. So
Oh,
I
it's
know. I was just seeing if you were
No,
if
you
you've
weren't.
been studying.
Oh, don't worry, I know.
I knew it was in your heart. Dude, I knew.
Can you imagine that, like it's just like moving.
Oh,
that'd be
boy.
crazy.
All
I could never.
Anyway.
Never be an athletic trainer.
Yeah, just wait till I take a run at you next time we're playing football.
Yeah, you'll be
better
on
hope
the ground.
Cassie's
You'll be
on
on
the
the
scene.
ground, dude.
No, you better
Hey.
hope Cassie's there. to
This
fix
is
your clavicle.
165 pounds of steel you're
No,
running
I weighed
into.
myself this week and I'm
Andrew
170.
Golden once had 12 tackles in a game and got interviewed. Look it up.
Sixth grade, I played football. I had an
They
interception.
They
Congratulations.
call me the steel wall.
Yeah, I highly doubt that.
I
All
don't.
right, hey,
I don't.
back
I don't
on
break my
topic.
clavicle. I break clavicles.
Back on topic.
All
So
right,
Cassie,
hey,
whoa, do you mind if I go?
Go ahead.
Thank
yeah,
you, I
my
appreciate
bad.
it.
Hey,
So
good
Cassie,
energy.
we chit-chatted a little before, and you mentioned that you were a preceptor. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm a genius. Your preceptor, you said that he got to work with the NFL Combine. So could you just kind of touch on, what you've been able to take away from your preceptor and everything they know, and also the other people that you're working with at your clinical?
So, yeah, he has actually worked in a lot of professional parts. He's been with the NFL Combine. I think he did 2 years of that. He was actually with the Eagles for, I think, 2, maybe 3 seasons in the 90s. And he also recently worked with Major League Lacrosse. So it's really interesting getting to see his take on everything. He's obviously been in the field for a long time. He's actually been in Malvern for about 30 years now. So it's really interesting getting to see his view on everything and how he helps boost my confidence, and he throws me into situations, and he tells me that throwing me into those situations is how I'm going to learn best and how I'm going to work towards being a confident athletic trainer.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Having a great mentor is always really good. I know since you said the Eagles, Jeff got pretty excited.
Like the Eagles.
So Cassie, I know that on top of your 6 positions you've had so far, that you're also a student human athlete in that you run track here. So
Student human athlete.
she's a student human
Just in
athlete.
case you thought she was a robot.
As opposed to a student athlete, you're a student human athlete. She's a
Alrighty.
human. So student human athlete,
Cleared
running
that up.
track.
Yeah, I am superhuman.
But so how do you balance that time between knowing that, hey, I gotta do my work, my clinicals, my internships, but yet I also gotta do practice, do different meets. So just what's that balance for you?
So before, I didn't really have to be at clinical as much. The hour requirement goes up every semester. Well, every year, actually. So sophomore year, it was a lot easier to balance because I could go to clinical one day and practice the next day. Junior year got a little tougher. I'd have to miss practice a little bit and then do my workouts either before or after I went to clinical. And then this year is really testing me on how much I can balance my time. I pretty much go from class to doing homework, then going to clinical, coming back, doing classwork and studying. Track's in the spring right now, so I don't really have to balance practice right now, but in this previous spring, my coach would send me our workouts and I would go for a run or do whatever he sent me before I went to clinical that night.
So, what is your future goal? Are you expecting to stay in high school, or are you looking to go to collegiate or professional?
I'm not really sure. At first, I really thought I was going to stick with the collegiate setting, and I thought that that would be more my speed. But after being at a few high school sites, and especially at Malvern Prep, I really think I like the high school section more than any other age group.
What would be some advice that you would give to fellow athletic training majors as they're just getting started in their clinical experience? Do you for instance, when you started, were you eager beaver, ready to go get after it and do whatever you could, or were you kind of laid back and progressing through your time?
Well, at first I was very held back and reserved, especially being with those 3 upperclassmen. I was really nervous about getting in there and doing anything. And I think the best thing to take away is don't be afraid to ask questions. I always have my teachers and preceptors tell me that. Don't be afraid to get something wrong. That's how you learn. Really just work on your confidence and make sure that you are confident in your skills and know what you're doing. And the athlete doesn't know if you're right or wrong. So especially in a clinical setting when you're working with a preceptor, the athlete doesn't know, if you're right or if you did the special test right. It's pretty much like your preceptor knowing, and you can kind of talk afterwards, and that helps with getting things right and working to gain confidence.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome. So I really like the nugget of, hey, the athlete doesn't know what you're doing. So I feel like next time if I go down and break my ankle and you're fine, let me go. But Kassie, anyway, being that we are sport management majors, something that we're always preaching is, I guess, sort of elevator pitches, or say like, hey, everyone's toothpaste. What's the difference between Colgate or Crest or anything like that? But in your field of athletic training, you've had all these positions, so you're obviously, I guess, higher quality toothpaste. So I guess, how are you going to use all these, experiences to kind of leverage yourself to get that job? And do you think that it's really helped you?
I think definitely having a variety of clinical sites has really helped me and could set me above other potential applicants at a future job interview. I feel like I've learned from a different variety of preceptors, whether they worked in more collegiate settings or professional, high school, college, just different settings. I think that puts me above the rest, and just getting different all-around experience from other people and learning different techniques of how to tape an ankle or different techniques for different injuries and how to detect things and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Kassie, well, hey, it's that time in the show where you better get ready. We're going to fire some rapid questions at you. Quick 6. Jeff, you're up.
Staying on topic, what's your favorite brand of toothpaste?
Oh, God, I don't know. I think I use Crest.
There you go.
Nothing wrong with that. What's your favorite color tape to tape someone's ankle with?
We only really have white tape. With the Power Flex, the more stretchy tape, you can have some different colors. I like the blue we use at Malvern.
Okay.
Would you rather bring back dinosaurs or cavemen?
Ooh, I think dinosaurs.
When you drive, do you use your left hand on the steering wheel or your right hand on the steering wheel?
Oh, gosh, I think I use my left more.
Oh, boy. There you go.
Solid.
I don't know which one. I think I just go like this. Just down here.
What's the favorite Halloween costume you ever dressed up as?
Ooh, that's a good one.
For bingo this past weekend, my friends were all fruit, so I got a purple T-shirt and I put balloons all over it, and I was grapes.
Okay, that's good. That's clever.
That is.
Would you rather eat chocolate for the rest of your life or cake for the rest of your life?
Oh, that one's really hard. I think cake, because you can have chocolate cake.
Boom.
Oh,
Loophole.
little double dip, yeah.
Loophole.
You got me there. Point for you.
You've just been trained.
Excuse me?
Athletic trained.
You've been athletic trained.
Yeah. Student human athlete trained.
That's all right. You look.
Okay.
Well, Kassie, that was a good quick 6. Appreciate a quick mind. Appreciate the Crest toothpaste. So before we wrap up here,
What are you, a spokesperson for
What is
them?
with you and toothpaste today, man?
I don't know, I'm just really passionate about oral health. But anyway, Kassie, before we wrap up, is there any last thing you want to say? Any last piece of advice?
I just want to say, if you're interested in athletic training, don't be shy. Go ahead and go after it and go get your degree and go be a confident athletic trainer.
Awesome.
There
Well,
it
hey, we
is.
can't wait to follow your career and see it everywhere you go. I'm sure it'll be great. We want to thank you for coming. We enjoyed having you on. Had a lot of fun. So
Had a
like
great
I said,
time.
wish you luck the rest of this semester, next semester when you graduate. So Jeff, want to thank you for coming again.
I want to thank you for having me again.
Yeah, no, your co-host. Really appreciate you. Hope you have
appreciate
fun
you.
mountain biking this weekend.
I didn't
if you
actually
get
go
out.
mountain biking.
Hey, passionate Andrew.
Thank you.
Hey, good
It's
questions.
been an honor.
It's been an honor.
Happy
Yeah.
hiking.
I'm probably not going to go hiking again.
One-time thing.
Just never know.
You
Same
can't
time.
keep up like Kassie,
Yes.
an athlete.
I like sitting on the couch more.
Track star.
Couch star.
Couch star.
Awesome. Anyway, we can't thank our fans enough. Everyone at Newman Media, Newman University, our sport management folks. We hope you have a great week, and we can't wait to see you next week for another episode of Intern TV.